If you wear that church girl, nice girl badge with pride and you feel it's your spiritual duty to say yes even when your soul screams no, if you dim your light because you were conditioned to believe that playing small is the ultimate sign of humility that God expects from women, I will bet everything that if you do any of these things, that deep inside you are not as happy and as fulfilled as you desire to be. And I relate the nice girl to the church girl because church and faith assimilation is where most of us were conditioned to be the nice girl. And if you pay attention, that conditioning has seeped into every aspect and area of your life. And I know this because being a church girl and a nice girl is something I did for the majority of my life, even after becoming an ordained Baptist minister who served in the church leadership as an associate pastor for over 19 years while holding a Master's of Divinity and a Doctor of Ministry. See, neither of my degrees nor my position as a leader in the church curtailed the conditioning that I received that my role and my responsibility as a woman was to serve with a smile, support the church financially, and keep my mouth shut. Because if it's one scripture that every member, especially men, know by heart, it is, "Woman, be silent in the church." But it is time to exit that outdated identity and step into your full power and flow as the divine feminine creation you were meant to be. And this exit is so important for women because how women are conditioned to serve and support often leads to self-sacrifice and self-neglect, which also leads to being drained, resentful, and being disconnected from your divine feminine energy. And so this video is for all the women who've been taught that being nice is synonymous with being godly, and that a virtuous woman is one who self-sacrifices for the good of others. We have to unlearn and disconnect from this conditioning because while there is real beauty in serving, there is also a fine line where serving turns into that kind of sacrifice that robs you of your power and your self-worth. See, the thing about nice girl conditioning is it teaches women to be people pleasers and to avoid conflict at all costs. And worst of all, it trains us to prioritize ourselves at the bottom of the list, even in our own lives. When you are stuck in that nice girl role, you are essentially handing your power away on a silver platter. You are saying to other people, "Here, you decide how I live and how I feel," while ignoring your own gut feeling. And this is not even close to what God had in mind when God designed the feminine species. Listen, women, like God, are life givers. We create, give, and birth life. We are divine creatures meant to be adored and valued and held in the highest esteem. But the nice girl conditioning convinced us to see ourselves as less than who we are. But this is where we exit, because being nice doesn't serve you. Being kind, yes, but nice, no. And there is a huge difference between being nice and being kind. Niceness is about keeping the peace, even at your own expense. But kindness, on the other hand, is rooted in love and truth. It allows you to set boundaries and still honor others while you honor yourself. Listen, being nice means suppressing your desires, ignoring your intuition, or silencing your voice to be accommodating. And it will not lead you to the abundant life God gifted you. So how do you make your church girl, nice girl exit and step into the fullness of your power? How do you claim full agency over yourself? By renewing your mind, just like the scripture says when you read, "Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." And you renew your mind by questioning your conditioning. You have to weigh what you've been taught against who you sense you were created to be, and you let go of everything that doesn't serve you. And when you renew your mind, you realize it's not selfish to prioritize your well-being above everyone else. It's sacred. You will realize that you can serve without sacrificing your soul, and you can love others without losing yourself. In fact, it is what God required when God told us that the greatest commandment is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and to love your neighbor as you love yourself. But the nice girl have been conditioned to do the last part of this commandment backwards. We don't love our neighbor as we love ourselves. We prioritize loving our neighbors before we love ourselves. And the way we stop loving and prioritizing others before self is to rethink what we think and believe. And this requires you to put a few things in place and in practice. First, you have to question your narrative. Ask yourself, what have I been taught about being a woman, and who benefits from this belief? Many of the messages we've absorbed about being nice were designed to keep us small and compliant. And recognizing this is the first step to renewing your mind. Next, you have to love on your inner child. Because often the nice girl mentality takes deep root in us because in our childhood, we learned that being agreeable kept you safe and kept you loved. So focus on loving and healing the youngest version of yourself. And if you want to work with me to go deeper into the inner work that you need to heal your inner child, there's a link in the description. Next, I want you to define your boundaries and get real clear on what you will and will not tolerate. And remember that boundaries are not walls. They are bridges to healthier relationships with yourself and with others. So make sure your boundaries are aligned with the woman you were created to be. Then I want you to rewrite your story and create a new narrative. And instead of believing that your existence or the best use of your time on this planet is to make everyone else happy, write a story where you are the main character and you get to honor your purpose and live in alignment with your truth. I want you to speak it and affirm it and claim it, and most importantly, embody it. And finally, I want you to activate your divine feminine energy. Y'all know I couldn't leave this one out. Listen, embracing your divine feminine energy means learning to trust yourself and nurture your intuition and move with confidence. And flowing in your feminine is all about being both soft and strong. It's about being receptive and assertive. It's about activating and leaning into that creativity in us that allows us to radiate and glow from within. So spend time doing the things that light you up, because that means your life is serving you, not the other way around. Listen, when you let go of the church girl, nice girl identity, you're not abandoning the foundations of your faith. You're stepping into the fullness of who God created you to be. Because your number one divine assignment is to honor your worth and walk in your power and live authentically. And if people have an issue with this, that's a them problem, not a you problem. So let me just warn you, when you stop being the nice girl, people will definitely take issue with it. But take notice, it will only be those who benefit from you playing small in your life. I guarantee you are probably serving them more than you're serving yourself. So ignore people who don't support you showing up in your full authentic self. And when you do, something miraculous will happen. Your life will be more fulfilling because you are showing up as your true self. Your confidence will soar because you are no longer seeking external validation. And your life overall will begin to align and you will feel more full and satisfied. So make a commitment to yourself today. And if you have to, write down one way that you will honor your power this week. Maybe it's setting a boundary or speaking up for yourself or simply taking time to rest without feeling guilty. Now, it is very important that you remember that reclaiming your power isn't a one-time thing. It is a journey, and I am here to walk with you through that journey. Now, let me know in the comments if this video was helpful. Let me know if you need to exit your nice girl, church girl era, or if you have already done so. I love to read about it in the comments, so please leave me a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you found it helpful. And do me one last favor, share this video and this channel with another woman who may need this kind of sisterhood and this kind of support. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.